Riding in a car with your family can be one of the most wonderful times you experience. It can also be one of the worst times. Well, I had 4 children under the age of 6, and there were days when I had to get out of the house, and I would announce to my children, "Today is an adventure day." And my son knew to go and gather everything that we take for lunch, and as I got the girls ready to go on this adventure, he would pack a loaf of bread, a jar of Goober grape, a pack of Juicy Juice boxes, and a box of Little Debbie cookies. So the oatmeal ones, those are the best. So then we'd go out in the car and I'd get everybody buckled in the car seats and everything. And before we left, one of the children got to choose a direction, north, south, east, or west. And then another one got to choose a mileage that we would travel between 15 and 115 miles. Now, how this worked, give you an example. We lived in New Freedom. One of the children chose south. The other chose 20 miles. We ended up in Hunt Valley in horse country, and as soon as we reached that 20 miles, the first place that was safe to pull over, we pulled over and we had our picnic lunch. And then the kids got out, arms on top of the fences, looking at the horses as they came down the field, and they came right up to us standing there, in the little colt put his nose over the edge and let my daughter pet his nose. A wonderful time. Now, the hard part is getting them all back in the car so that we can go home. They tend to be a little grouchy on the way home, bickering and fighting. "He's looking at me. She has my dial. Their feet stink." Yeah, and I have the most wonderful way to calm my children down in the entire world. And excuse me, I'm going to sing. I threaten them with, "If you don't settle down, I'm going to sing." "No, Mom, no, I'm sorry. No, things like 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready. Now go, cat, go. Now don't you, ooh, 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 step on my blue suede shoes. Or, heavenly sunshine, flooding my soul with glory divine. They're in the back yelling, "Mom, we promise we'll settle down. We won't. Don't sing anymore." And they would be quiet for a few moments. And inevitably, the girls would fall asleep. And that gave me the opportunity to see into the mind of a 6-year-old boy. One day he says to me as we're driving down the car, "Mom, is Sarah a boy or a girl?" I said, "What do you mean? Why are you asking that?" He said, "Well, Sarah has brown eyes, and I have brown eyes, and Dad has brown eyes, and my friend David has brown eyes, so boys have brown eyes." And then he says, "And you have blue eyes, and Michael, my daughter, she has blue eyes, and Miss Mary, David's mother, has blue eyes." So he had gathered all this information and had worked perfectly through the strategic method of gathering information. He had observed his area, the things that were around him. He had asked a question. He had created hypotheses. He'd gathered the data, and he came to a conclusion. Unfortunately, his conclusion was wrong because he was in an isolated environment that was just all of his family and his friends. So we talked about this a little bit, and he didn't understand why his conclusion was wrong, other than the fact that Sarah is indeed a girl, even though Michael is also a girl in my family. So, I think about that day a lot here recently, when people make conclusions and they make decisions based on a clouded vision of the world. They don't see the bigger world around them. They see their family, their friends, perhaps their church, their belief system, and they refused to look beyond that into the rest of the world and realize that others have their own families and their own friends that are different. They have their own churches and their own belief system, and they are a part of the world that we live in. It's unfortunate, I think, that adults cannot move beyond that thought process of a 6-year-old and understand that they are not the center of the world and their observations are not valid unless they turn and look out.